This interview today is about Union Bank and how they took my wife's deposit and did not return it for 6 weeks because my name was not on the account, and there were checks from me to her signed over, and they didn't accept them and sent them out, but they got lost, and they just didn't show very much sympathy as trying to locate them and make sure we got our money. So don't be scared of Big Brother. If they're in the wrong, go after them. Go get them. Okay, the story is on December 24th, Christmas Eve. I gave my ex-wife 4 checks to deposit into her account. They were in my name, but I signed them over to her, and she put them into her account. It was money for her and the kids for Christmas and stuff like that. Okay, and they were state of California checks, and she'd been a member of Union Bank for 30 years, so we didn't foresee any problems. So on December 26th, the day after Christmas, they opened up, and they said that they couldn't accept those checks because I did not have an account with them, and that they were going to send them back in the mail. So we were a little, upset, but we said, okay. So they said 3 to 5 days. Okay, and they mailed them apparently around the 26th, 27th of December. Okay, I went back there a week later, and I said, I haven't gotten these checks yet, because we share a post office box, and I haven't gotten them. What's up? And one of the tellers said, oh, you'll get them in 3 to 5 days. Okay, so they gave me that again. So I went, we waited about 5 days, and I went back again. And they're reluctant to help me because I don't have the account there, but I said the checks were my name's on them, and this and that. So anyways, they go, we need to talk to Kathy. So I brought Kathy with me, and they said, blah, 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 3 to 5 days. Okay, now we're going on 2 weeks, but they keep saying 3 to 5 days. So I'm saying, who mailed these letters, or who mailed the checks back to me? Can we talk to her or something and find out, if she mailed them correctly or if she took them home or whatnot? Okay, so we wait again, and now we're talking, second week of January, and I still haven't got them yet. So we went back there again, and I talked to another teller, and she said the same thing. She looks on her screen, which I can't see, and it says 3 to 5 days you're going to get them, And they had the right address. I'm trying to shorten this up, but I have to get in these 3 to 5 days because that's going to, I'm suing them in a small claims court. But, okay, so that didn't work out. We didn't get them then. So I decided to go back to the state, and I filed 4 affidavits for those checks to get them replaced, and which that's a big rigmarole. They asked me where they were, and I said, well, Union Bank has them. And they go, well, why aren't they cashing them? And I said, that's a good question. They're lost or something. So anyways, so now I'm mad. Next time I go in the bank, I say, okay, everybody in here is a liar because you guys have lied to me every time, 3 to 5 days. And the vice president heard me and says, may I help you? And she was real nice. And she sat down and she got on the phone, and she got pretty much the same treatment I do when I try and call. They had her on hold and everything else. And she's the vice president of the local Union Bank. So she hangs up and says 3 to 5 days. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So that seems to be the set thing. And they said they've been mailed, so 3 to 5 days. So anyways, to make a long story short, I never got them. Well, I ended up getting them in February 14th. I got them. I got 3 of the 4. Or I got 2 of the 4. Then 2 days later, I got 1 more. And the 4th one I've never seen, which, it's been replaced by the state of California now, but they've taken care of that. So what I'm really upset about, it was at Christmas time, and I expected some responsibility from them to try and, backtrack and find these and this and that. And they didn't seem to want to do anything. They just kept saying 3 to 5 days. They gave me an 800 number to call. And when I was talking to the girl, I go, where are you located? She goes, the Caribbean. And I'm thinking, now how is a girl in the Caribbean going to help me with my problem here in Huntington Beach, California? So and they just kind of blew it off like it wasn't a big deal, which it was a pretty big deal. The 4 checks totaled over $1,000, and it was kind of ruined our Christmas. My ex-wife accused me of taking the checks and cashing them behind her back and going to the casino, which I did not do. So that kind of like, she was hot about that. And I go, it's your bank. They're the ones that took the checks. And then when I did get them in the mail they were mailed from the bank, and for whatever reason, they took about 6 weeks, a little over 6 weeks to get to me. They gave me they got rid of our checks, or my check, and they gave me a little piece of paper like this that was yellow, and it said, "This is a legal check." Okay, I tried to take it to Walmart. I tried to take it to check cashing places, and everybody went, "Get out of here. We're not taking it." The only place I could cash it was at Union Bank, at which they at first said no because they don't have an account there. But then the vice president lady, she okayed it. So they got deposited in the account. But nobody wanted to cash them because they looked fake, So that's pretty much in a nutshell of what happened. Just right now, I sent them a letter telling them what they did, and they never acknowledged it. So I guess they don't feel they did anything wrong, but they sure enough didn't ruin it, but made Christmas time very unpleasant. Well, pretty much if they apologized and said that, you don't call it a lie, but what is it when they tell you 3 to 5 days, 5 different times, They're looking on their screen, and I was trying to reach my head over and look and see if I could see on their screen, but, of course they wouldn't allow that. But they just said it got mailed. And every time they said that, it sounded like it had just got mailed. So 3 to 5 days from that day. No, I want monetary, and I don't care if it's very much. It's just something just to get a little piece of them, because that upsets them when banks have to give, when they lose a penny, they get upset. So, and also doing things like this brings it out there and lets them know that I'm serious about how I got mistreated, and I'm going to do something about it, or try to. Banks are very hard to sue. Those are like police officers, because they make a lot of mistakes, and people would be suing them all day long. But this is a small claims where they can't have a lawyer. I can't have a lawyer. And we'll just tell our sides, and then we'll let the judge decide who's. It was the fourth time I went in there. After the third time, they said 3 to 5 days. I just had it with them, because at that point, 3 or 4 different people had told me 3 to 5 days. They'd all stand together behind a monitor, look at it, and go, "Yeah, 3 to 5 days. You'll be getting it." And that just, I go, I haven't got them yet. And in their defense, they probably thought, well, maybe I was trying to pull a fast one or something like that. But I said, no, I have not got these. You can check with the state of California. These checks have not been cashed, and it's Christmas time. Everybody's using every penny, to buy and do whatever. Thank God that Corona wasn't around at Christmas time. That really would put a damper on things. But but they didn't know how to look up and find out. Who? I go, who mailed it? A robot? Did a human mail it? Because can we talk to that human and make sure that they, people make mistakes or whatever. And, I don't know. When I finally did get them, it was stamped. The envelope was stamped June 26th. When they tell you something, you take it as the truth. Why would a bank lie to you? You don't think that way. But in their case, they just were going with the standard answer, and they weren't trying to do any background on it and find out what the real answer was. And don't stand for it. And I'll tell you what, you can sue them, same as like I did. Stand up for yourself and tell them they're in the wrong. And quite frequently banks are in the wrong, but they just have this uppity attitude, like we're a bank, And when I was younger, it was like, ooh, a bank. But now that I'm older, I see how it's like, okay, whatever. It's like, the kid, just like it's a piggy bank type deal. It doesn't, it's not as complicated or whatever as I thought it was. And it was very simple for this. They could have let me come back to the bank, Kathy or me, and pick up those checks, but they mailed them. And just stick up for yourself and don't be scared of the bank. Don't be scared of, just stick up for yourself.